Please join Jeff and I in applauding and welcoming to the stage this year's Equality California's State Farm Good Neighbor Award. Let's hear it for Lisa Middleton.
But I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors. That's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. True colors are beautiful like a rainbow.
James, Jeff, thank you. Thank you, Equality California. What an incredible evening. There is only one thing that would make tonight better, and that is if George Zander was here with us. I don't know about you, but I've not been back to Pepper Thai since George died. I grew up in a working class town on the east side of Los Angeles. It wasn't much of a town, but we didn't expect very much either. What we did have was a public library. It was a few blocks from my house. I could walk there, I could ride my bike there, and like a lot of kids that don't quite fit in, I spent a lot of time at the library. I was about 12, and I checked out the LA Dodgers' Sandy Koufax autobiography. That didn't attract too much notice. When I turned that in, I checked out Christine Jorgensen's autobiography. I don't know if the librarian was confused, but I was. Over the next many years, I spent a lot of time in every major library in Los Angeles, reading everything I could find on what was then referred to as transsexualism. Most of it was in academic literature. Anyone who thinks we have not made progress should go back and read some of what was written on this subject in the 1960s. Scott, transgender men simply did not exist. In nearly every article, the first word of description was effeminate. It meant not simply to describe an appearance, but to describe an attitude: passive, soft, weak. The authors were all men, and there's one thing that they had never met, and that was a strong woman. They had never met Barbara Boxer. And they certainly had never met the next president of the United States. It took me a while to come out, but I did, and I've been out for almost 25 years now. And if there is one thing I have learned about being transgender, it is not a job for the faint of heart. I'm one of the extremely lucky ones. I have Cheryl, I have my children, John and Lauren, her husband, Matt, and Cheryl and I together have Palm Springs. In Palm Springs, gender isn't much of an issue when the questions are safe streets, environmentally responsible development, and supporting our police and fire department. Gender isn't much of an issue in Palm Springs, where I am simply a neighborhood activist, another person in Palm Springs with a past. But it is far from old news everywhere else. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for this award. I hope you know how much it means to me. But before I step off, last week, 7 days ago, 2 of our police officers were ambushed and murdered. And in the press conferences that followed, Chief Brian Reyes said any number of wonderful, warm words with regard to 1PS and Palm Springs neighborhoods. So I'm going to ask you to stand with me and to celebrate and thank Chief Brian Reyes, the City of Palm Springs, and most importantly, to thank the memory of Officer Gil Vega and Officer Leslie Zabredny. Thank you.